Hi, this is Ashley, Miami SEO Geek. Thank you for coming to my video. Today I'm talking about SEO trends in Miami for 2021. So the SEO factors that will rank you on Google that I'm talking about today will ultimately work across all large cities in the United States. So you can definitely use this information to increase the rankings on your website and get new customers from Google. So the first tip that I have for you is learning what are your customers ultimately searching for on Google. So what keywords do they use? What phrases do they use? Where are they coming from? And ultimately, what is it that they're typing into Google when they're looking to find a product or service that you have to offer? The first step in doing SEO correctly is keyword research, and that just means researching keywords that your target market is using. Should you not know what they're searching, you're going to ultimately be doing SEO and not knowing where the path is going to lead. So having a clear process of keyword research and a strategy to get behind is the first step in getting traffic on Google and targeting those people that you ultimately want to target. Tip number 2 that I have for ranking on Google in 2021 is learning if SEO is even going to be a profitable form of marketing for your company. So let's say you have a product or service that has never been on the market before. Chances are SEO is definitely not going to work for you because people are not searching for something they've never heard of. What I see working best for SEO is home services like plumbing, roofing, electricians, and those type of niches, as well as lawyers, doctors, dentists, and other services or products that people are well aware of and will eventually need in their life. So just knowing if SEO is a good fit for your company might save you thousands of dollars and might even make you thousands of dollars should you realize that your niche is one of the best for SEO and you'll thrive in that form of marketing. So figuring that out, I would say, is one of the most important things you can do to increase the longevity of your marketing dollars. Tip number 3 for SEO in 2021. That starts with what is Google's current impression of your business? Do you have any long-standing authority on Google already? Like old domain, previous SEO, people constantly searching your business name already and finding you? If so, chances are you'll have a better result when you do SEO, and you will definitely get results faster than if you're starting with a new domain or a new company or a new business that no one has searched for on Google before. Some of the things you want to look at is domain authority, the trust, relevance your website brings, and a ton of other factors that Google keeps into their algorithm and ranks you based on what those factors entail for your business. So, of course, if you've done SEO in the past, or you have an old website, or you have a very well-known business, chances are you're going to have better rankings than someone in your niche who just started their business, made a new website, and people have never heard of their business name before. So where you start, like I said, has a lot to do with how fast you're going to move up on Google and get new results. So my 4th tip for ranking on Google in 2021 is, what is your current online traffic situation? Are you already doing some form of ads or marketing like radio ads, TV ads, or social media marketing? Because if you are, you can definitely add in some keywords that you might be saying or using in your text or videos, and from there that could give you a big boost on Google when you start doing your SEO. Not only that, but like I mentioned in my last tip, if people are already searching your brand name and finding your website, or searching your phone number, address, or anything like that, that might even help Google realize that you're already an authority in your niche, in your area. So that could be another factor that will help you out when you start doing SEO. So your current online traffic situation is a bigger factor than most people realize. And pulling in all those forms of marketing and using them to work together and bounce off each other will be a great way to increase your rankings and help with your SEO and getting new customers on Google. So ranking factor number 5 is what is Google's impression of your SEO competition. So you have competition in the real world and you have competition on Google. They usually correlate, but they're not the same. So let's say you have a ton of competition in your area, there's hundreds of other plumbers or electricians in your area, but none of them have a website or none of them are doing SEO, then you just lucked out because you're going to be able to rank above them on Google, if they're even on there at all, and be getting all the traffic or most of the traffic from people that are searching for your service in your area. So that's super important to know. Am I going up against these huge competitors with $10,000 a month SEO budgets, or do I have very little competition where I can see quick results at not too much of an investment? So definitely check out what your competition is, where you stand already, and put 2 and 2 together to figure out what your SEO budget should be and how long that will take you to see results with that budget. Getting traffic to your website from Google in 2021. Tip number 6 is leveraging maps. Google Maps SEO is something that is totally underrated. No SEO companies are talking about how they're leveraging the maps or how they're going to get you in the maps. Why? Because they really don't know how. I mean, if most people, when they're looking for a local business, a local product or service, they usually scroll past the ads, which is the first thing you see, and go straight to the Google Maps, which shows like your business name, your reviews, the star review that you have, your phone number, and a description as well as photos, all right there in something they can see right away. So a lot of people these days are going into the maps and looking at the first 3 or 5 businesses there and making their decision there to call you or to call the person under you. So I focus a lot on getting my clients in the top of the maps, like I said, because that's usually where people are stopping when they're looking for a local business, and that has a higher conversion rate than them going to your website. So leveraging Google Maps, like I said, is super important in 2021, especially because the map section is now taking up more space than it ever has before. And my guess is years down the line, Maps is going to become a much bigger part of Google than it already is. So look out for Maps and make sure that you're leveraging it and making the most of what you can do with that small space that will give you a high conversion rate. So tip number 7 is having an overall plan and strategy before you begin your SEO. Are you just going to start doing random SEO tactics without an actual plan? Because that's really not going to get you anywhere. You have to start from A and plan to Z and have a clear custom-built strategy for your own website, because what works for your website is not necessarily going to work for someone else's website that is different than yours. Even if they're in the same niche, they didn't start from the same place that you started, so it's going to be a completely different strategy. You have to look at what does your website already have to offer, what are you lacking, what is your competition, what are people searching for when they're looking for you, and what is your budget. You need to make a plan from A to Z, like I said, to get the best result. So that's what I do for my clients, and of course it always pans out well. I mean, if you don't have a strategy and you don't have a plan for any type of business, whether it's your actual business or your side hustle or your website or your social media marketing or your SEO, you need to have a clear plan. So that concludes the tips I have for you for ranking on Google in 2021. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you're already doing some of these strategies, I'd love to know. If you'd like a free SEO analysis, head on over to my website, miamiseogeek.com, and input your contact information right there at the top. Thank you so much for watching my video, and look out for the next one because it's coming soon.